Good morning, students. In previous period, we studied about the one of the most important substance which we use in our daily life, that is the sodium bicarbonate. Okay. Now we have another substance, that is the bleaching powder. You know that in rainy season in our home, from the pipelines, we particularly obtain or we get the dirty water. So many dust particles in there. All right. Now this particular dirty water having some microbes, the bacteria, the viruses. Now to particularly remove that particularly impurities, that is dust particles, microbes or the bacteria, now we use the common substance that is called as the bleaching powder. Okay, we commonly know it is the bleaching powder. Okay, particularly now this bleaching powder having the another name, that is a chemical name, that is called as a calcium oxychloride. It is called as calcium oxychloride. Now the formula is the calcium oxychloride is CaOCl2. This is the chemical formula of the bleaching powder, that is the calcium oxychloride or commonly known as the bleaching powder. All right. Now in this particularly the bleaching powder, the chlorine gas is the most important constituent. Now it having the chlorine having the property of the disinfecting or the disinfection, and second thing the bleaching property. Simply we can say it is used to kill the microbes or the bacteria present inside the water. Okay. Secondly, we can say it is a very important particularly oxidizing agent, so that it is used to bleach the cloths. Okay. In particular textile industries, the bleaching powder is used to bleach the cloths. All right. Now this is the important factor about the calcium oxychloride, that is the bleaching powder. Secondly, when this particular bleaching powder reacts with the carbon dioxide in the air, it produces the calcium carbonate and the chlorine gas is released. As we know that there is the order of the chlorine gas is releases from this process. Or secondly, when we use the bleached powder or the bleached water in the home or in the particular tap of the particularly in our home or the tank, we particularly smell with the odor, that is the intrinsic odor, and that odor is of the chlorine gas. Now chlorine is in the gaseous state, so that it is not directly used to disinfect the water, to disinfect the another things, so that this particular chlorine gas is used with the help of bleaching powder, so that the bleaching powder is yellowish white colored powder. Now most commonly used in the particular home or in the particular municipal corporation or the another social sites, that is the social organizations. Okay, so that when the calcium chloride, that is calcium oxychloride, reacts with the carbon dioxide, it produces the calcium carbonate and chlorine gas is releases. All right. Now how the bleaching powder is prepared? Bleaching powder is prepared with the help of the lime slag. That means the calcium hydroxide. You know that what is the calcium hydroxide? It is basic in nature. So that this lime slag or the particularly we can say the calcium hydroxide, when they react with the chlorine gas, then it produces the calcium oxychloride, that is known as the bleaching powder. Now reaction is this, that is the calcium hydroxide, when it reacts with the chlorine gas, it gives the calcium oxychloride, that is the bleaching powder, and the H2O molecule. Okay, in this way the bleaching powder get prepared. Now there are so many uses of bleaching powder, very important substance. First of all, we can say the bleaching powder is used, it is a yellowish white colored powder, solid substance. This is the property of bleaching powder. Now this particularly bleaching powder having the chlorine, very important constituent, which is particularly used to disinfect the water, to kill the bacteria present in the water. All right. Now the another property of the calcium oxychloride is that it particularly reacts with the acids like the hydrochloric acid and the sulfuric acid to form the different kind of products. So simply we can say it is vigorously react with the acids. ऍसिड सोबत हा vigorously react करतो. आपण एक रिएक्शन या ठिकाणी बघतोय, when the calcium oxychloride reacts with the H2SO4, then it produces the calcium sulfate plus the another thing is there, that is chlorine gas is released from this process and the H2O is produced. This is the reaction with the acid, so that we can say the bleaching powder reacts vigorously with the acid like the HCl and H2SO4. Okay, got it. Now another we can say, now this calcium hydrochloride reacts slowly with the carbon dioxide. As earlier we studied that reaction. The bleaching powder reacts with the carbon dioxide to form the calcium carbonate. Alright. Now this is the particularly reactions of the bleaching powder. The uses, one of the most important use is that to bleach the clothes. In textile industries, the calcium oxychloride or the bleaching powder used to bleach the clothes. Secondly, it is used as a disinfectant. Generally, it disinfected the water which we use in our daily homes, okay, or the bathing or the other purposes. All right. Secondly, it is also used in the corporation sites or the road sites or the garbage sites to particularly decompose the material. Okay. Now this is the another use of the bleaching powder, and once again we can say it having the very strong odor of the chlorine gas. This is another property of bleaching powder. In this way, there are the few of the property and few of the important uses of bleaching powder we use in our daily life. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. In next period, we will study the another type of compound, that is the washing soda. As we earlier studied the baking soda, now we have to study the washing soda. Thank you very much.